Recording in progress.
Now, perfect. Good. All right. So we're going to have that conversation all over again now that everybody has joined in. So what we're talking about today is lead generation. Name of the class is Lead Generation 101. And the thing that I want to accomplish most today is change the way you think about lead generation, okay? There's a lot of negativity that comes with the phrase lead generation. There's a lot of fear that comes with the phrase lead generation. And it's because you hear other agents talk about how they hate to do it, or how difficult it is, or how often they hear no. I want to change your perspective on lead generation today. I want it to be something that you welcome. I want it to be a habit you do every day. I want it to be easy for you to do every day. And more importantly, I want it to be effective lead generation. So we're going to take you through some statistics today. We're going to take you through some mindset altering discussion, hopefully, that's going to make lead generation really make sense to you. And when we talk about lead generation, the reason that we talk about it so often is it's one of the three fundamentals of the business that Gary talks about in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. And that's leads, listing, and leverage, okay? Everything starts with leads. That's the reason it's on the bottom. That's the base that your whole business is built on. If you don't have people in your life that want to buy or sell a home, do you have a business? No. You have no business at all, okay? So lead generation, finding people that want to buy, finding people that want to sell, it is the most critical piece of our business that we can have. Now, when it comes to where do we want to spend our attention, well, we want more listings. And that's more true in today's market than probably ever before. Listings are the easier site to be on. We control the market, we control our income. So when we're out there lead generating, we do it with the intention of finding people that are looking to sell. And we're going to find buyers along the way, okay? The third side of the triangle is leverage. And all leverage is a person, a system, or a tool that makes our life easier. It makes us more efficient at doing whatever we need to do. So we can look for leverage in our lead generation. We can look for leverage in how we manage our listings, how we manage our books, how we manage our paperwork. The whole idea behind leverage, though, is it frees up more of our time so we can do our most important job. And what's our most important job? No.
Generation.
Lead generation.
Yes, thank you.
Job number one,
Yeah.
lead generation, okay? So I want you guys to remember, I want you to leave today thinking about lead generation differently, feeling like it's easy, feeling like it's something you can put in your day every day, that you can make a habit out of, and potentially something you even look forward to. So when we talk about lead generation, Gary gives us a model. It's our lead generation models. The MRA teaches us 4 models for growing our business. The lead generation model is one of them. And all it is a pipeline, right? You prospect and market to connect with people. You put them into your funnel, right? We build relationships with them up until the point that they raise their hand and say, I have a need, okay? Then they become an opportunity, and we're going to continue to work with them through that opportunity, getting the appointment, getting them as an active client, under contract, and closed, okay? Pretty simple funnel. Well, most of the time when we think about lead generation, what are we thinking about on here?
Leads, contacts, capture, prospecting.
Prospecting and marketing, right? Okay, that's where our natural gravitation is. This is what we do predominantly, or what we think about doing with strangers. right? If I'm gonna send out postcards, if I'm gonna go door knocking, if I'm gonna host an open house, we're thinking about what lead generation is interacting with strangers, okay? But where's our biggest opportunity in here?
Our sphere.
Yeah, it's the people you're already connected with, okay? So, and I tell you this so that you understand, there's a huge amount of overlap between these two things. Can we market to people we already know? Yeah, absolutely we can, right? Can we prospect with people we already know? Yeah. So when we're prospecting, when we're making a call, when we are meeting somebody, when we're engaging with them face to face, do we have the opportunity to ask for referrals? Find out what's going on in their world? Yeah, okay? And so I want you guys to get away from the fear of talking to strangers and get really comfortable with talking with the people that you're already connected with. Now, that's not to say that prospecting and marketing to strangers doesn't play a role and doesn't have a value. It does if your sphere is not big enough, okay? But if you've got enough people in your world, you can generate enough business from them to live the lifestyle that you want to live, okay? And there's simple exercises that we do in the economic model to find out how many people need to be in our world, okay? The economic model is one of the other models, okay? The third model being the organizational model, the fourth model being the budget model. Those are the four models that we build our business off of, okay? So between prospecting and marketing, okay, what's the difference between the two? Can you give me an idea? Anybody? Marketing is you putting a message out and hoping you get a response in return. Prospecting is you taking your message to people, okay? And we're going to talk about the differences in those two things today and which one is more effective or less effective, which one has the opportunity for the best results. But to really take a good look at what sort of lead generation should I be doing, I want to take it back to data, really hard data for you guys to understand where the opportunities are. So this is out of the 2020 profile of home buyers and sellers. This is a huge, like 200-page report that National Association of Realtors does every year, okay? So this came right out of that report. And I want you to see the method used to find a real estate agent by first-time buyers or repeat sellers, or first-time sellers or repeat sellers. Okay, so this is on the sell side. What's the number one? Can you read that?
Friend, neighbor, relative.
Referred by
Yeah.
or is a friend, neighbor, or relative.
It's not screen sharing.
Huh?
You're not screen sharing.
Oh, do I have to screen share? I thought you were screen sharing.
Well,
Okay, I thought, sorry guys, that you can't see all this. I'm gonna share my screen right now so you can follow right along. I thought I was screen sharing the screen the whole time. Oh, you got me disabled.
You are enabled.
I am enabled. All right, fantastic. So let me move this out of my way. All right, so right here at the top, the number one way that sellers find their real estate agents is they were referred by a friend, neighbor, or relative, or they are a friend, relative, or neighbor. Okay, so I want you to ask yourself, I want you to think back to the people you have referred in your lifetime. Have you ever referred someone to a stranger? No, right? You refer people to people you have a relationship with. You need to use my mechanic. He's absolutely fantastic. You're not going to go tell somebody, hey, you really ought to go try out ABC car repair over here. I've never used them, but I pass them every day. No, right? You're referring because you have a personal relationship with them. You know them, you trust them, and you know that person's going to be a reflection on you. So this is, just to sum it up, they are either in a relationship with a real estate agent, or they've been referred by somebody that's in a relationship with a real estate agent. And what's the second one? They previously used that real estate agent to buy or sell a home. Okay? You add those together, that is 67% right there. 67% are the byproduct of a relationship. Okay? What's the next percentage that we come to? 5%. Why would you aim for a target that's this big when you have a target sitting over here that's this big? You make the same amount of money if you hit this target as if you hit this target. Which one are you going to aim for? The big one, right? Okay, it only makes sense. You go to the fair and you get the dart and you pay, and if you pop the balloon, you get the doll. Do you aim for the smallest balloon or the biggest one? The biggest one, right? This is no different. Aim for the biggest one. Who we want to be with, who we want to be talking to, are the people that we have a relationship with. And if we don't have strong enough relationships or enough relationships, that's our job. Go build the relationships. Go meet the people and build a relationship with them. Okay? It's really that simple. Some of the other things that you're going to see down here, they visited an open house. 1% of sellers responded to direct mail. I have agent after agent tell me that they want to do direct mail, direct mail, direct mail. They don't want to pick up the phone and talk to anybody. They want to do direct mail, okay? 1% conversion rate, okay? 1% of people picked somebody out of their mailbox, okay? And what if you weren't the only person in their mailbox? That conversion is even lower, right? That same percentage did. Specialty advertising, calendars, magnets, etc. Saw a person's social media page that they didn't have a relationship with. They just found a stranger on social media. Okay, what's the conversion rate for that? 1%. Okay, is that a percentage I want to build my business on? No. Okay, so let's take a look at buyers. If I can get it to advance.
We have to have it in full screen.
Oh, yeah, I've had money. Get out of the way. Have it in slideshow mode. We're going to get all this technology worked out, guys, where this gets easier and easier for us. All right, so for our buyers, referred by or is a friend, neighbor, or relative, 40%. Use an agent previously to buy our home, 13%. So 53% of buyers had a relationship with their agent. 53%. What's the next highest percentage? 7. Okay. They inquired about a particular property. They saw a house they were interested in and they inquired about it and they met an agent through that inquiry. Okay. That's the reason yard signs work, right? That's the reason that Facebook ads that market a specific listing work better than any other Facebook ad that you can run. It's right here in the numbers. Okay. 7% were curious about that particular property. Website without a specific reference. They just searched homes to buy and wound up on a website and you were on that website. It could have been your website, a KW website, it could have been on Zillow, but they found you as an agent there. Okay, 6%. But how do 5, 6, and 7% compare to 53%? Not very well, do they? Say no.
No.
Thank you. So what was most important to sellers in choosing a real estate agent? Well, the number one thing was their reputation. Number two, that they were honest and trustworthy.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So 31% and 57%. The reputation and that they felt the agent was honest and trustworthy. Those were the number one answers that we got. Okay. Is that something you ascertain from a postcard? Or an email? Or a social media post? No. How do you determine if somebody is trustworthy and has a good reputation? How are you going to figure that out?
I want to meet them.
It's an interaction, right? It's some conversation on some level. That's the best way. If I want to get somebody to trust me, okay? So let's go back to dating, okay? And for some of you, it may have been a long time since you were in the dating world. It's been quite a while since I was. But, you know, can you imagine in the old days answering a classified ad for a date, okay? And just
No.
showing up someplace secluded? No, right? You are wary and hesitant across the board. When we're talking about buying or selling your most expensive thing you own, okay? Of course, honest and trustworthy is going to be important. So that reinforces why they do business with the people they're in relationships with, right? It makes sense. If they want to do business with somebody that is has a good reputation, is honest and trustworthy, who are you most likely going to pick? Somebody you already know, right? Same thing with buyers. What are buyers looking for? They are honest. They are responsive. They're knowledgeable about the purchase process. They're knowledgeable about the real estate market, and they've got great communication skills. Okay? Is any of that something you're going to get out of a text or an email? No. You have to get into conversations with people. Okay? But what I want you to understand is so much of this is nobody says they did a really good job selling me. Nobody said, well, I wanted somebody that had a really fancy listing presentation or a really pretty website or had the nicest business card I've ever seen. That is nowhere on that list anywhere, right? That's not what people are looking for. They want to be in a relationship with somebody and know that they can trust them, okay? So we just need to get to know people, and business is going to show up. Okay. Now, I want to go back to this lead generation model so that you guys understand. This up here that we talk about as being lead generation and prospecting and marketing, I want you to think of those more as activities and not a who. Okay. We can prospect and market to people we already know, but we can also prospect and market to people we don't know. Okay. When it comes to marketing, though, again, that's putting a message out, right? And hoping you get a response back. So I want to ask you, are we going to get our best results just by emailing everybody we know every month, a monthly neighborhood nurture? No, it doesn't connect with people. It doesn't cultivate the same way, okay? On the prospecting side, though, I've got 2,000 people in my database. Can I talk to all of them this week? No, I can't either. So it becomes a combination of the two, okay, that I need to be doing. Both are vitally important, okay? I've got to do the prospecting side. I've got to have conversations because that's how I create the connectivity. That's how I build the trust. That's where I demonstrate my knowledge of the market. That's where I demonstrate that my knowledge of the real estate industry, okay? The marketing is just to remind them, oh yeah, Trey's in real estate. Oh yeah, Trey can help me. Oh yeah, don't forget Trey's out there when I'm ready for him, okay? Does that make sense? But it's still that phone call that we have to make sure we have with enough people to generate, okay? So we can do this with strangers, okay? If we need to get more people into our database, but our best results are gonna be from doing this, the prospecting and marketing, with the people that are already in our world, okay? Now, from the Ignite class, they gave us a list of different activities that are prospecting, marketing, and kind of bridge it and have the possibility of being both. And there's a lot of stuff on here, okay? I don't want you to go and try and do all of this stuff, okay? I want you to keep things really simple, especially starting out, okay? If we talk about having a 3 or a 4-legged stool, okay? If we're gonna have a stable business for us to perch upon, we need to have 3 legs at least to support that business, 4 at the most, okay? And so we can go in here and we can pick some prospecting activities, some marketing activities, and both, but there's some gaps in here, okay? Because, you know, you talk about phone or face-to-face, and they give examples of what those are and who it is. But the one thing that's missing on here is my sphere of influence, okay? What this list, what I want you to understand is this list is how do I find new people to add to my database? But the same activities we need to do with our people. And we see, let's see, in here under prospecting, we've got networking events here. We've got events here, open houses, seminars, contests, client appreciation events. These are activities that we see big teams moving more and more to because it gives them lots of opportunities to interact with their sphere and their database, okay? Because let's say that I were going to get a booth at the Grayson Days celebration this year, okay? And I want to meet strangers that are coming up. And that may be a great way for me to add to my database, okay? Because people are going to come up, they're going to fill out a little slip of paper, they're going to throw it in the bowl because you're giving away a $50 gift card to some restaurant, okay? That'll help me expand my database. But the real value of that is you reaching out to your database and you've got a story to tell. Hey, I'm going to be at the Grayson Days. Come by and see me. You come visit me at the booth and I'll have a special treat for you, okay? And I don't care what that is. That could be a koozie. It could be a bottle opener. It could be, you know, who knows what it is, okay? Could be a $100,000 bar, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, okay? Figure it out. But you're inviting them to come see you, okay? Then you're sending them a reminder to come and see you, okay? Maybe you're calling them or you have somebody else calling them on your behalf, okay? Because as your business grows, you'll have ISAs, you may have a virtual assistant that they're gonna make those phone calls, but now they've been touched 3 times. On our social media, what did we do? We let everybody know we were gonna be there. We're gonna invite them there. And then what do we do the day of the event? We're posting videos and pictures and talking about who we interact with. And when our customers do show up, we're getting to interact with them there. And then what happens after the event? We get to reach out to them and thank the ones that came and tell the ones that didn't come, sorry, we missed you, okay? Now, do we do that with the expectation of finding a piece of business? Kinda, okay? That's the ultimate goal. But instead, if you will focus on, I'm doing it because I want to build the relationship and have an opportunity to demonstrate that I'm knowledgeable about real estate, that I know the market, I'm part of the market, that's where you're going to get great opportunities, okay? So we want to go through this and pick 2 or 3 things that we want to add to our repertoire, okay? But there's one thing that we have to have on our list. one leg of the stool does not change. And that is that we have our people in our database and we have them on a touch plan, a 36 touch plan, where they're getting 4 phone calls a year and 32 other touches. Okay? That's simple. That's one leg of the stool. Now, can we come up with other touches? Absolutely. Okay? Can we engage with them in other ways besides the monthly newsletter, monthly neighborhood nurture, holiday card, and a birthday card? Yes. Okay? But we can't give up the 4 phone calls. That's an absolute. Got to make those 4 phone calls. Okay? And we can talk about today. Today's not a scripting class. Okay? We can talk about what those scripts look like, because those should be easy phone calls. Does anybody here struggle as far as what to talk about when they call your friends? No, right? We all know how to talk to our friends. Great. Make everybody in your database a friend. That's the goal, right? Because who do we trust? Who do we know is honest? You know, who do we know what to do? It's our friends. So that's our job now, is to make as many friends as we can and to pour into those relationships. Okay. So we're gonna have our database and then pick 2 other things in here. Okay. That we want to add to continue to grow our database, because unless you've already hit the ceiling of what you want to accomplish in your business, our database needs to get bigger, right? Okay. So we want to have some way of inviting people into our world, and this is going to give that to us. So where I want to take you on is kind of a thought process now, and this is just such a good reflection of how did we as a civilization change over years. Okay, so when you go back to the pre-industrial revolution, when you go back to way back, okay, what was the natural order to feed ourselves? Which one?
Hunter-gatherer.
The hunter-gatherer, right? That's where it all starts, okay? You eat what you kill, right? And then as technology came along, okay, what did we evolve to? Farming, right? And why did we evolve to farming instead of hunting and gathering?
Easier?
Is it easier? Have you tried to plow 40 acres before? I'm sorry, I think
If you have
that
technology.
firing a bow and arrow is a little easier than plowing 40 acres, okay? So farming that's easier. But if I were to challenge you, Lisa, if you needed to feed 10 people, would you have an easier time finding and hunting for your food, or growing it in a garden? Growing it in the garden, okay? That's the thing. So over time, the farming became easier because we could do more with the time that we had. It's no different than in the real estate business, okay? So I want to take you through what these look like so you guys understand the correlation. So what's a hunter-gatherer look like in real estate, okay? This is prospecting, okay? This is me going out and trying to find somebody today that needs to buy or sell today, okay? So how do we do that? Well, I've got to be in conversation with them, right? So it's going to be me making phone calls. It's going to be me going through neighborhoods and knocking on doors potentially. It's me going to open houses. There's any number of things that I can do, but it's having a two-way conversation, right? Does that make sense? Because the flip side, marketing doesn't work that way. If I needed to find a customer today, am I going to do that with a postcard? No. Okay. So hunting and gathering, it's me taking my message and talking to us and engaging with as many people as I can. Okay. Looking for that one opportunity. So what does farming look like? Okay. Well, that's emails, postcards, door hangers. It's your Facebook and your social media. Okay. and it's the 36 touch with your database, okay? It's us putting a message out there and kind of waiting for someone to respond to us, okay? That's what farming looks like. Now, our database in the 36 touch is a little bit special in this group, okay? Because those are our tried and true crops, right? We already have relationships with them. Is it easier to grow a plant from seed or to keep a plant that's already grown alive? It's easier to keep the one that's grown alive, right? Okay. And I don't know about you guys, but you hand me a pocket full of seeds, I have no idea what they are, right? I know my database, I know my people. I can look at a plant and tell you, yeah, that's at least a bush tree or shrub or flower, right? Even if I don't know which one it is. So 36 touch, but we still have to market to them. We still have to touch them, right? Okay. So come on, here we go. So what are the pros of being a hunter-gatherer? Okay, because there's a role for that in today's business. Do you have a mortgage payment due on the first?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you need to make money today?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So the pros of being a hunter-gatherer, it has the most immediate results. I can find somebody today, if I talk to enough people, that needs me today, right? Would it be possible, okay, not saying probable, but it would be possible for me to meet somebody today, get a buyer's brokerage agreement, find a property and get it under contract before the end of the day? We could do that. Yes?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, improbable, but possible. Okay? Could I get them under contract before Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay? If I sent out 1,000 postcards today, am I going to have anybody under contract on Monday? No. Okay? Minimal planning needed. Okay? How much preparation do you need to make a phone call? To knock on a door? Not a lot, right? So there's not anything fancy. There's no major expenditures. Okay? So it takes minimal resources. I don't need a lot to do that. Okay? So what are the cons? What are the negatives? Well, it requires the courage to overcome the fear of rejection. Okay? Isn't it the reason we don't pick up the phone is not because the phone is too heavy? Okay? There's some fear we have associated with it, right? Either a fear that we're going to come across as being inadequate or that we're going to get rejected. Okay? And I just encourage you guys, you have to push past that. You have to dismiss that fear. If somebody is rude to you on the phone, hangs up on the phone, yells at you on the phone, I don't care what it is, okay? Did your world change? Are you less of a person? Okay? Lisa?
No, we're not.
Not at all. And so, but I'll tell you what, somebody does that with me, they're not part of my future, right? They are now all of a sudden instantaneously in my past, and I don't ever have to think about them again, and I move on to my next phone call. Okay, so I've got to find that courage to be able to make a phone call. Unpredictable results. Okay, so let's just take door knocking for an example. I go knock on 50 doors today. How many people are going to answer?
We don't know.
I have no idea. I make 100 phone calls today. How many people are going to answer? I don't know. Okay. So, I mean, it's kind of hard. Now, over a long period of time, we can certainly get a good idea of what our averages are and be able to plan around it. But on a day-to-day basis, it's kind of unpredictable. And the last one, limited production capacity. Okay. What do I mean by that? Could you call 1,000 people today? No. Could you knock on 1,000 doors today? Okay. So no matter how big you want your business to be, you can only have so many conversations in a day, right? And that becomes a ceiling for your business, right? I need to have more reach. I need to have more conversations if I want my business to be bigger. So I've got to maximize whatever opportunity I have as a hunter-gatherer, okay? I will also add to this, as far as that unpredictable results, think about it as hunting, okay? When a hunter goes out for deer, okay? Anybody know any deer hunters? Okay, or have known some? Good. And so every time they go out to hunt, do they kill a deer?
No.
And you have no idea if this weekend's going to be the weekend or not, right?
Right.
It's the same way in real estate, okay? But we have to learn to enjoy the hunt, okay? If we enjoy the hunt, well, then it doesn't matter if we catch a deer or not, as long as we eventually catch a deer. All right, so for farmers, what are the pros? It's more efficient and reliable, okay? If I mail out 1,000 postcards, how many mailboxes are gonna get a postcard?
1,000.
1,000, okay? I know exactly what, if I email 1,000 emails, how many emails are gonna be delivered? 1,000. I don't know they're gonna get opened, but they made it to their mailboxes, right? Okay? Much greater yield, okay? And what I mean by that is, I may not be able to knock on 1,000 doors today, but could I have arranged to have 1,000 postcards delivered today? Yes, okay? So my reach can be a lot bigger. And if 1,000 postcards isn't enough to generate the business I want, what do? I send 2,000, okay? Can I send 2,000 postcards as easily as I can send 1,000? Is it any extra work? No, it costs me more money, but it doesn't take any more work to do that, okay? And it lets you pick your crops, okay? So, and what I mean by that is that hunter-gatherer, if we're working with our database, where do we meet people? You know, we meet them at the store, we get introduced to them by our friend. Where do they live? All over, right? They could be down here from Smyrna, could be up here from McDonough. You know, when we're doing marketing and we're targeting a certain area, we can be really specific about where we want that to go. And we can be very intentional about building our business where we want to build it, okay? But what are the cons, okay? Well, one, it takes time to reach harvest, okay? So I want you guys to think back, okay, to a week ago Monday, okay? What did you get in your mailbox? Do you have any idea?
No.
You have no idea, right? Okay, when was the last time you got a postcard from a business?
Yesterday.
Do you know what business it was?
No.
No. And that is exactly my point, okay? So you send out a postcard to someone, are they gonna remember you? Are you gonna stand out? Are they gonna be like, wow, that she's got her act together? No. What do you have to do? You have to send postcard after postcard after postcard after postcard, okay? It needs to be something that goes out every month or every other month. And it may take 2 years for someone to realize, oh, hey, that's that same lady that keeps sending me a postcard every month. And now you finally have some level of recognition in their brain, okay? It's not a once and done. It's gotta be on repeat over and over again, okay? 2, it does require planning and maintenance, okay? So there is a little bit of work. It doesn't just happen automatically. We need to clean out our, whatever marketing we're doing. We've got to do our designs. We've got to figure out our content. We've got to figure out where it's going. We've got to get it printed. We've got to get it delivered. There is work that goes into that. And lastly, is it expensive? Okay, yeah. You want to send 2,000 postcards every month for the next year, it's going to cost you, okay? So that's always something we have to take into consideration. And I don't want you guys spending money before you're making money, okay? And that's the reason Gary tells us that our business should be prospecting based and marketing enhanced, okay? And where I would encourage you guys to think is if you're thinking about doing marketing, the first people you ought to market to are who?
Your sphere.
Your sphere, okay? And I want you guys to think about what is probably the most hated industry in the world.
Car salesman.
Yeah, I don't necessarily hate car
Insurance
salesmen.
salesman.
Okay,
Door to door.
what about the cable company? What about your wireless phone provider? Okay, they offer all kinds of incentives to who?
New people.
New people. They spend thousands and thousands of dollars to get new customers. And then how do they treat their customers? Like crap. Okay? Instead of spending your money to go find new customers, spend your money to go take care of the customers you already have. Okay? And by customers, I just mean your friends, the people that are in your world, your sphere. Love on them, build the trust, build the honesty, build the relationship so that when they're ready, because are they going to buy or sell at some point?
Yeah.
Yes. And we want you to be the obvious choice when that time comes. So invest your money there as long as that database is big enough. Okay. Keep clicking. All right. So how do you become a better hunter? Okay. And let's take this right back to hunting for deer. How would you become a better hunter? You didn't kill a deer last year. What are you going to do different this year?
Practice.
How about practice? Are you go to the range, sight your guns, fire it, make sure you got your stance right? Okay. Are you going to talk to better hunters and find out what are they doing? Where are they going? What equipment are they using? You know, what are they using to bait the fields? Or I think that's illegal here in the state of Georgia, but whatever you do to attract them, okay? Or make yourself not smell like a human so that they come up to you. I'm not a hunter. And lastly, invest in better weapons, okay? So how does that translate to real estate, okay? If I'm going to do a better job with prospecting, okay, I want to have better phone calls. I want to have better conversations at open houses. I want to have better conversations door knocking. What do I need to do? Well, I need to practice, okay? We call that role play, okay? I want to find people I can partner with and practice what I'm saying instead of practicing on my potential customers, okay? I want to learn from better hunters. Who else is out there that's killing it with prospecting? Who does a great job door knocking? Who is a religious lead generator that gets up every day and is on the phone from 9 to 12 o'clock with their sphere? What are they talking about? How do they build that relationship so when that person's ready, they call them back, okay? And then invest in better weapons. That depends on what your prospecting strategy is, but let's say you're prospecting on the phone, okay? Having a dialer may be the right thing for you, okay? Utilizing your CRM, okay? Maybe if we didn't have a good CRM, you'd have to go buy one, right? But making sure you've got tools that make your job easier, okay? If you're working at the kitchen table, maybe it's buying a desk. If you struggle sitting at your desk for a while, buy one of the stand-up desks, okay? Whatever it is you need for you to do a better job and commit to that prospecting, spend a little bit of money and make that happen, because that's something that's going to pay dividends over a long, long time. How do you become a better farmer? Okay, well, experiment with different crops, okay? Great example of this is the Facebook ads. And I may have had this conversation with a couple of you, but one of the great things that you can do is, let's say that you want to spend $20 a week on Facebook ads, okay? Don't spend $20 and run an ad. Spend $10 on 2 different ads, and you have an A and a B ad, okay? This one has the same picture as this one, but it has a different headline, okay? See which headline works best, okay? Then maybe you run 2 ads that have the same headline, okay? Because I found out this one worked better than this one. So we're not going to use this headline anymore. So now I'm going to run 2 ads with the same headline, but different pictures. And I find out this picture worked better. Okay, so I'm going to run an ad now with this headline, this picture, but with a different call to action. Okay, and you call that A/B testing. You're always running 2 similar ads to each other and trying to figure out what is it I can tweak to make this ad a little bit better, get me a little bit better results. Okay, so that's an example of how to experiment with different crops. Okay, that could be also experimenting with what works better. Sending out postcards, sending out cards, sending out flyers, sending out letters. You know, there's lots of ways I could do stuff through the mail. There's lots of ways I can do stuff through social media. There's lots of ways that I can do that stuff through other digital mediums. Okay, plant new fields. What do I mean with that? Look for other neighborhoods. Okay, maybe we're farming this neighborhood over here. Well, let's go see if we're getting good results here. Let's go plant another field in the neighborhood next to it and see if we get similar results over there. Okay, learn from better farmers. Who's doing a really good job with their marketing plans? Okay, who do we need to learn from? And we've introduced you guys to a bunch of them. Some are killing it on social media. Some are killing it through direct mail. Some are killing it through client events. You know, find out what they're doing and pick things that resonate with you that you're going to be excited to do. And then lastly, invest in better tools. Okay. And what I mean by that is think about your time. You know, if you're sending out stuff through the mail, well, if I'm going to send out 200 letters, well, is it better for me to print 200 letters, fold them all myself, stuff the envelopes myself, write the addresses out and put the stamp on them? Or is there a company that I could pay that will do all that for me? Okay, what's my time worth? And very often using a service is going to help you. Okay. And it might be too, you know, maybe the quality of the postcards you have isn't great. Okay, maybe the quality of the program that you're using to create your content isn't great. So look for, how do I do what I'm doing already and enjoy doing? Just how do I do it better? Okay. Do hunters need to farm?
Yeah.
Yes. So why? Okay. Keep coming. All right. It minimizes the feast versus famine cycle. So take it back to the deer hunt, right? Right after you kill the deer, are you fat and happy? Okay. But then what if you don't kill another deer for 6 or 7 weeks? Okay. I would rather have a farm, okay, that provides me a steady source of leads. Okay. So I still want to hunt, okay, but let's kind of minimize. And maybe if I'm really aggressive hunter-gatherer, maybe I don't need to do a big farm, okay, but I've got my little garden behind the house, right, that provides me enough that if I don't kill a deer this week, I'm not going to go hungry, okay? But it's also the foundation for a larger success, okay? You go talk to any successful real estate agent, super successful real estate agent. One of the things that you will hear over and over and over again is, I wish I'd started my database sooner. Okay, you guys may have already heard that from another agent, that they got into the business, and they got out there and they were working, they were hustling, but they seemed like they were so busy that they didn't have time to put their people in the database. They didn't have time to put them on a drip campaign. They didn't have time for it. Well, now that they've built success, do you think they have more time? No, they have no time. Okay, so when does it get done? I promise you guys, you're never going to have more time in your world than you do right now. Okay, put the time and effort in to get your database built and built correctly. And if you need help, we're here to help you with that. I have another one over there. No. Okay. So, do farmers need to hunt? Yes. Okay. Why? Well, it maintains skills for lean times, okay? So when your farm stops producing results, okay, because it changes in the marketplace maybe, because I want you guys to think about, oh, it didn't move over. There we go. Should go back. Okay, I want you to think about after the housing crash, okay? How many real estate agents got out of the business? Over half of them, okay? Why? They've gotten soft, okay? They never developed the skills to go find business, okay? So when their normal source of business dried up, they didn't know how to go have a conversation with an investor. They didn't know how to go handle a short sale or a foreclosure or find out somebody that would teach them. They just kept thinking that, well, gosh, I just need to send a few more postcards. I need to run another ad. I need to do more of what they were already doing, but those activities no longer worked, okay? So keep your skills sharp. Keep talking to strangers. Keep building your database, okay? It helps you discover new opportunities. Okay, if we're not actively engaged with our market and hunting for business, we won't find new. All we'll have is what we have right now. Okay, and if our database doesn't grow, our database is the limit on what we can do. Okay, so farming or hunting will help accelerate our growth. Okay, our farm's going to generate sales for us, but if our farm doesn't get bigger, if we don't get more people in our database, it's going to take longer for us to get the results we want, and there's going to be a ceiling on the results we get. So keep hunting so that we're adding new people into that database and getting it bigger. And it's so fun when you've got all this trickle of business coming in. Life is good. Okay, that's like Allie here. She's got a very stable business. She's been in business for 12 years. 70% of her business is repeat referral business, but she still hunts like nobody's business. And it is so fun to her when she finds a new client and gets to help a new client and bring them into her world. Because not only does she get that new client, who else does she get?
Everybody in their sphere.
Everybody in their sphere. She gets all of their referrals now, okay? So you're not just inviting one person into your world, you're inviting multiple, okay? But the big takeaway, guys, I just want you to know, it's all about relationships. These aren't sales calls. This isn't sales interactions, okay? We want to remind them what we're in real estate, okay? But we're not trying to talk somebody into buying a house. We're not trying to talk them into selling a house. We just want to keep building the relationship and letting them know, hey, if you ever need anything or any of your friends or family, please don't hesitate to give me a call. That's as complicated as it needs to be. And if I'm in enough relationships, that will give me whatever lifestyle I want to have. Okay. And guys, that's my show for today. So does anybody have any questions that I can answer? You good, Ann?
Thank you, sir.
You're on mute.
Thank you.
We're good? All right. Thumbs up. You good, Lisa?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, man, guys, thank you for coming today. I'll see you all soon.